Hello, everybody. Welcome to RST Best Practices training. I am Stocks Only Go Up. I have a fever and no filter today, so I apologize. Don't listen to anything we say. This is all entertainment purposes. None of it is educational. We're not financial advisors. This is all just one big joke. Do your own DD.
Do your ODD. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Welcome, everyone, to our live training, best practice training tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a lot of things to share with you guys. Let's go ahead and roll that first video.
Let me know if you can't hear it.
That lowers power bills to zero with...
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition.
The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the Valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lorene and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking. Don't settle. My third story is about death.
So you're a woman in the executive ranks of your career, or you hold a top-ranking position in your field, and the pace of your...
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
You know, maybe it's because I'm a pussy with a fever, but that video made me cry like 4 times. That was the best video you ever picked. Just saying.
Wow, I love Steve Jobs. I love him. I mean, God rest his soul. He's been gone from this earth now, 11 years? He died in 2011. But he left a huge, huge impact, and his companies are still growing today. One of the top companies in the world. And what an amazing guy he was, and what a legend, right? And so hopefully you guys learned something new about him if you did it from that speech.
What
he's
matters is you learn something new about yourself. I did.
Yep, you do. You learn something new about yourself, and he says, stay hungry, stay foolish. People might think you're foolish for doing whatever you're doing, but guess what? If you feel it right in your heart, keep doing it.
Amen.
Which leads me to my next level DD. So,
hey, what? You want me to pause or
What's
what?
going on? I
all
like
right,
the sound of that.
guys want to know what's going on with the next level LTNC DD. So let's go ahead and pause this recording.
Pausing, classified.
And I was like, oh, the news isn't really that great. That's why.
Yeah, I work normal 9 to 5, so like LLNW, I was getting into a stock in an uptrend, and I'll just trade it. I'll just buy it when it's already established an uptrend, and just like Bentley does the 9 EMA, I'll just dump it, as soon as it levels off. Like I bought that stock I mentioned like 460 and sold at 530 in a week.
This news is not that bad. I don't know why the hell they were shorting it. It's basically pancreatic cancer, diabetes, and they basically said their live technologies sell in a box announced today that their empty capsule material that compromises its cancer clinical trial product candidate does not cause systematic toxicity. So that's that was the news, but it got shorted. Maybe has nothing to do with the news, and it has everything to do with the stock, and people just hate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know the stories of these stocks, right? Every story, every stock, every chart has a story. So we don't know what happened with this stock before. But look at the high of the stock. This is what I liked about the stock, and I was watching it because the high was what was the high?
$31.
Yeah. But something.
Yeah, I looked at that too. I looked at everything, and I was like, it was decent news, and boom.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, Shaw, because remember I talked to you about Wolfie's Purple Biotech that used to be Katove, that I got killed in that.
Yeah.
Everybody still believes the CEO is has an NDA on him. I've been in and out of that stock. Love it. The news, they're keep treating on their clinical trials every form of cancer possible. They have 2 drugs, amazing, but they don't PR. And when they do PR, they don't PR right. Like it's just a horrible company.
Exactly. So
They
you don't
break
know.
news every time. Guess what happens? Everybody's waiting for the news. News comes out, the stock goes down every
Yeah,
time.
and
I'm like, I'm
imagine
out.
buying.
I'm done with this
Imagine.
stock.
Yep, and imagine buying the stock at like $20, $30, right? And you're pissed, and you're just gonna always be pissed at the stock, and you're gonna always take it down because they don't know how to PR. They don't know. That's the thing about these bio stocks. Like some of them, you have to know their history.
Real quick, I got to tell you something now. Bristol Myers literally gave Purple Biotech scientists a grant of $1 million to continue her research on their drugs for brain cancer because her studying was phenomenal. Did you know that was on Bristol Myers website and Purple Biotech never released that PR? Like, why would you not? And I'm playing stocks that release that kind of PR and the stock runs. And I'm like, what the heck? Why would they not release this kind of news?
Yeah, that was the
phone.
leak that was found by
Silent.
Wolf, I believe. Yes, you're right. And I remember KTOV. That KTOV was one of my
Randone, the bachelor guy, he was pushing it.
Yep, and we were all in KTOV. I remember even Atlas was making videos, and we would do these little meme videos of KTOV. I mean, it was the stock of FinTwit in 2020.
I had 10,000 shares, and then they did a reverse split on me. And everybody was holding it through Randone hold it through the reverse split. Wolfie, all of us did.
Yes,
and
we did.
I got burnt so bad in the end.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was one of my first stocks, KTOV. What happened to it now? I haven't looked in so long.
That's
we
so
have
funny.
2020 was the best, guys. I got to meet some of you guys in 2020. We had a ball. We were trading from 7 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. That's how bullish the market was. It was fun, and we all all the traders we would just be on stupid Twitter, and we did lives. Remember when we used to do those lives all the time? It's not the same anymore. It's boring with their little spaces and these new people, but whatever. COVID traders. Okay, what other stocks do you guys want to look at?
I don't know, but as long as say it was good tomorrow, I'll be a happy.
What about
happy
Excella?
camper.
Look at Excella.
Oh yeah, RST special.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bullish as fuck all day today, and then dropped after hours in a nice huge green candle.
God, we need a massive squeeze on this. We got to get. This is one stock that deserves to be in the dollars.
It's right around my average right now. I'm not even scared holding it. I'm like, whatever. Let's see what it does.
I don't even consider the stock a penny stock. Like this is like the next DocU. Like it's there.
You see this? They launched a share buyback of up to 100 million shares for $1.25 a share.
I do not get why it's so cheap right now.
It's because it's being manipulated by the hedgies. They have a hit on the stock.
Yeah,
it's kind of like MoveOn and CENN, all of them.
That's why it's bullish all day, because they announced that damn stock buyback. It's the $1.25 a share, and the stock's 40 cents right now.
It's so nuts.
So, I'm not a financial advisor, and if you do what I say, you'll lose all your money, but you should probably buy Excella. That's what I would say. That's why I have some.
Yeah. No,
I still have my shares. I'm still holding. I want dollars. I know what the stock can do.
I just want a little more pocket money, and then I'll buy it again.
So we're watching CEI tomorrow. XCLA. What else? I'm going to be watching
CRXT.
Which one?
CRXT.
Yep. I'm going to be watching
that one moved today. Yeah, look at that chart. Oh my god, that looks beautiful.
Lady Raz, you were a robot when you said that. You were not understandable.
Okay.
Yeah, your
I said that's one I'm watching. That was a nice game tonight.
I'm gonna continue to watch SBFM because remember, like 2 weeks ago, that thing went to like $12. So I'm gonna continue to watch SBFM. It had good action today. And towards the end of the day, somebody pumped it from like $2 to $4 something. I'm gonna continue to watch SEV. Miss Jen is the one who found that stock today when it halted. It was a great moneymaker. I'm going to continue to watch those two. And then tomorrow's 420, which is like the national weed holiday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch all the weed stocks. And then I'll put, if you guys have weed stocks, post them. The ones that you're watching tomorrow, I'll post the ones I'm watching.
Sundial
and
and Tilray.
And also remember tomorrow, the weeds EFT starts tomorrow.
People also think Elon might make another bid on Twitter, right? Since it's 420. And
And
that's what they
of
do.
memes.
What happened with Twitter today, guys? Something happened.
I don't know. Some people are thinking Elon dumped shares, but I'm not for sure.
This is probably what happened. Elon Musk has more money than anybody in the world and just does things sometimes. That's what I think. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. That's what I think.
I'm bored today. Yeah,
You know
I'm
what?
bored today. Let's buy Twitter.
That's what I think. I truly think that he's like, I have more money than any human being that has ever lived. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
He probably shorted the fuck out of Twitter.
That's a way to live, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm not faulting him. I'm just saying that's what I think he's doing. You know.
So tomorrow, remember to ask.
Hey, Miss Shaw.
Yeah.
What was that one you were watching? The first one, SB something. I'm writing my notes
It's
down.
the bio stock that went crazy last week. SBFM, the one that I missed.
SBFM.
No,
yes. Okay, the one I got in. Yes.
No,
I
no,
played that last week.
No,
Okay.
actually, I didn't miss that one. You alerted me. I missed VERU, but this is another one.
Okay.
SBFM.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not done, but almost, buddy. He's waiting for me to play the game of life, Super Mario Edition.
Okay. So yeah, so remember the weed one goes into effect tomorrow. We're finally getting a weed it's WEED ETF. Alpha told us about. So make sure you add that to your weed stocks list, and let's see what that does tomorrow. But
I'm getting up bright and early with Robinhood's trading hours. I'm gonna trade on Robinhood at fucking 6 a.m.
You'll be able to
just to
trade with
do
us.
it. Just to do it.
Right.
Yo,
And
I hope they buy the shit out of say it in the morning.
I bought a phone too. I may have a phone number eventually.
Tomorrow, but last year, guys, the weed stocks didn't do shit on 420. We were all like, huh? Because you know what happened? I think it was just so much hype on it.
Yeah.
Like that nothing happened to the weed stocks last year. But we'll see. Watch SNDL.
Tilray.
Tilray. Yeah, there's so many of them.
Well, BBI, I mean, if Zach's pumping it, I seen it move, and there's still that gap, supposedly. I don't know what gap he's talking about.
Hold on, let me see if there's a gap. There's a gap up to
it went
50
44 cents today.
Yeah.
Good job, Zach Morris.
Well, I mean, look, this is a previous level. It couldn't break it in January. It stayed under it ever since down here. And now it came up again. It tried to break it, but it couldn't break it. So it might just keep falling all day tomorrow. Or he could pump it up to 50 cents because there is a gap that needs to be. The gap always gets filled, in my opinion. Somebody can fill it.
Brings the volume. He's just, that's all he does is brings the volume. I don't even know if he knows how to read charts, but
gap. See that? I love the gap feature on Webull because look at it.
Did you guys see him riding his motorcycle or his bicycle?
Honestly, I'm gonna need you to teach me how to do Webull.
I will teach you whatever you need to know. That if I know it and you don't, I'll teach you how to do it. Whatever it is.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Finch was so funny. He had his little dog in his backpack in his bag, and he was riding a bicycle on. It was like, I was like, what the hell is this? He really knows how to entertain his audience. And they follow him, and he brings the volume. So thank you. So thank you for taking this to 44 cents. Wow. So I think he said his goal in this is 50 cents. So, you know, when it gets to 48 cents, you know what to do, right?
Or 40.
Sell. Oh my gosh. Take your profit.
Yep.
But the thing is, I mean, he does come up with good like picks. They work. I guess it's because he has so many followers, but
yeah, he's the king pumper, and he knows it, and everybody who follows him knows it. And when he calls something, everybody knows it's a pump, and they play it like a pump.
Yeah, Zach is known for it. Like I played a lot of his pumps before, made a lot of money.
Yeah,
SNCL and
CEI was one of his pumps. We were in it real early, but he still pumped it, and that's why it got to 470.
And AKE. What else? He had a lot of them.
Yeah, he was supposed to pump X-Cur last week and didn't. He tried. He didn't though.
He probably forgot.
Yeah, he might have just like got really drunk or something.
Right.
I'm cracking up right now. He just what the F, man? I never did Botox. This is how leaked sex tapes get started. He just tweeted that out.
He just tweeted that?
He cracks me. He just tweeted that out. What the fuck, man? I never did Botox. This is how leaked sex tapes get started.
Guys, did you guys ever get to talk to him or get to like know him? He is the most funniest person on earth. I got to know him, back in the day. We all used to trade together. He is hilarious.
It's funny. His tweets definitely give me crack me up throughout the day. I'm like, oh my God, he's so funny.
Mm-hmm. He's hilarious. Today I was cracking up with his bicycle. He was riding his bicycle in downtown Houston with his dog, Charlie, on the back of his book bag. And I'm like, what the hell?
I guess he's not in Mexico no more. He's been in Mexico for the past week. He's been in Mexico with booties in his face. It's so funny.
He was like honking. People were honking their horns and shit. And I was like, holy shit. He's just like driving around in his bicycle. It was hilarious. But guess what? That's entertainment. It's publicity. Mm-hmm. He brings the volume. So he's not doing that just because he's doing it. He's doing it for one thing, and that's because he's entertaining his followers. His followers are probably all his followers are all college kids. They're all young, like under the age of 30-ish, right? So they're all like in their 20s or whatever, early 20s, and those are the people that attract. He attracts. They love him.
They're all gonna make $1 million and go get some fucking boba tea.
Yeah.
And talk about English lit or whatever.
Exactly. And go to Cancun and be in a resort with naked women.
Hell no. I wanted him to pick me. I was like, yo, pick me.
Oh, he had a contest?
Well, he was like choosing people to take to like Cancun and party with him. He's like, I'll pay for all.
That's nice. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, I mean.
Okay, so next time he does that, we're gonna you need to let us know, Dragon, so we can all go support you.
Okay. Bet,
or
I'll let you know.
We can just go have an RST weekend in Las Vegas.
Yes. Wait till I get my money right with LTNC.
Okay. When we get our LTNC money, we're going to have an RST meetup.
Yeah, it won't be like, let's just go to Mexico.
Yeah,
I gotta get a passport.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll figure something out.
I don't even get fucking dressed in my daily life. You expect me to get a passport?
Go to Miami then.
Yeah, we'll go to Miami.
Okay.
I'm not that.
We'll go visit Miss Jen.
There we go. I'm about 5 hours though from Miami.
I go to Miami. I should be moving to Florida, but I think we're trying to move to Miami like the end of the year.
Miss Jen, what part of Florida are you in?
So you guys could just meet me there, I guess.
Okay.
Well, Coast. It's like right after St. Augustine. You got Jacksonville, St. Augustine, and then Palm Coast. And that's where I am. And then Daytona Beach next.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spend my
we will
childhood
come
in
visit.
Tampa.
And we won't have to wear a mask when we fly there.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
I'll drive.
The mandates came down.
I prefer a road trip to Florida.
They're getting appealed, I think. They announced.
You got to take a flight now.
No, like
I
I
was
said,
really
I'll
surprised
probably
with
be
Biden's
there.
comment. Did y'all hear Biden's comment about the masks on the airplanes?
Oh yeah, where he said Yeah, that's the way he always fucking says shit like an idiot. I can't understand him.
Yeah. There's something going on in the political realm. I haven't been paying attention, but I've been getting all these text messages from these different things, and I guess Donald Trump's about to release some crazy video with the Durham stuff. I'm like, what is happening?
You guys should all look up.
They're indicted. He's there's one under.
You sound like a robot.
For the whole setup, the whole Russia shit. Remember the Russia, all of that, the dossier, all that shit was fake, and they made it up, and they were all lied to the FBI, they lied to the FISA courts to spy on all of them, so they're busted. So that's interesting. I follow that. I follow everything politics. And guys, just so you know, if you follow me on Twitter, yes, I do post a lot, but I'm connected. Like I do things with the my Republican office over here, and I have a lot of liberal friends that, believe it or not, with my posts, I've changed a lot of mine. So go ahead, I'm done.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to be a Democrat, liberal. I couldn't believe it, but I didn't know anything about politics. But I used to be one of them.
Then you learned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well,
you guys should all watch that video I posted. Bad lip reading of fucking Trump and Biden. It's wonderful, and you'll thank me later.
Please keep your mouth zipped about the LTNCDD that I shared.
We will.
I
certainly
love
will.
you guys. Just wait for the announcements. It's going to be epic. And let's end it with a cute little video. It's about a life of a plant. Okay. I love you guys.
Love you, Shar.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Press and play. Good night, everybody. That was cute, Char.
It was. Good night, everyone. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with us. Have a good night. See y'all tomorrow bright and early.
See ya.
Thank you.
Night.
Night, guys.
Night.